All right. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Kol Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath that are out there listening and learning as well. With that being said, Adawan Ratazah, this will be edifying. As usual, I'm going to go into Rakah Kwadash. And shouldn't be too long. It's going to be, just got a couple precepts. Man, beautiful, beautiful times. I keep saying it. Yapah, beautiful times that we're living in. For the hopeful elect, horrific times for the rest of you that refuse to repent, the ones of you that refuse to wake up out of the matrix. Horrific times, evil times, which we know evil means bad times, perilous times, which I got Daniel 12:1, a time like never before. You know, we're uncharted waters, okay? And as you can see, this is from The Guardian. Breaking news. Things are escalating. The war of words are getting hotter and hotter. The drums of the Third World War is beating louder and louder. This is from The Guardian. It's from dated today, Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. It says Trump warns Putin he is playing with fire after Russian attack on Ukraine. So I'm going to come back to this article, just read a little bit of it. But I've heard this saying before, but I couldn't remember who said it. But it's a shout out to Gerald Celente. He's always, if you're not familiar with him, you can do your due diligence. He's on YouTube. He got a lot of videos on YouTube. You can probably find him other places. But he always, I've heard it over and over, but I didn't know it came from him. But it says, it's a quote by Gerald Celente. When all else fails, they take you to war. And really, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai wants this war, okay? Matter of fact, I might as well get it. I was holding it. Revelation 11:14. The second woe, which we know woe means destruction. We've already had two woes, 2 world wars, 2 major destructions. So it says the second woe is past, and behold, look. The third woe, the third world's war cometh quickly, okay? It's drawing nigh, very, very close. But just like Elder Apostle Tahar always goes into, always mentions, this third world's war is not going to get, how can you say it, nuclear. It's not going to go nuclear yet until that charagma is made mandatory. Matter of fact, I'll come back to this. But that's what I was meditating on, you know. That quote from Gerald Celente was in my mind. When all else fails, they take you to war. And right now, America, Babylon the Great, their back is against the wall. As I keep saying, they're in a pickle. They're in a quagmire. Okay, their economy's crashing. You know, they're drowning in debt. Their allies, they're Shalaki. Before I even go into that, they're losing their hegemony. No one fears them anymore. No one's taking them serious. Hence, all the tariff talks, all that tough guy tariff talk. He had to do what? Eat his words. Implement pauses, you know? So America's losing its hegemony. It's losing its strength. No one fears the bully on the block no more. The hammer of the earth is being broken asunder. Again, the economy's collapsing. They're drowning in debt. The layoffs, the Ponzi scheme, the fraud, the house of cards is collapsing. Okay, they're up against it. Their back is against the wall. This truth is spreading like wildfire. Okay, you know. So again, when all else fails, they take you to war. You know, this third world war is going to expedite the further collapse of the global economy. And don't get it twisted. They're all in cahoots. This is really the elites' war. The elites are the ones that are really fanning the flames. It's really Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, but he's using these elites. All wars are bankers' wars. Okay? This is going to further collapse the economy globally. It's a great a scapegoat, a great excuse to what's going on, to mask the failing economy. Real estate is crashing. The housing market is crashing. Commercial real estate is crashing. Residential real estate. The car market is crashing. Babylon is through. It's falling. It's falling. So again, when all else fails, they take you to war. But again, there's one key prophecy that we're waiting to pop off, which is right around the corner. That charagma, that mandatory implementation of the RFID microchip, it's nigh. All these prophecies are coming down the pipe. The handful of prophecies that are left are coming down the pipeline, and they're coming quickly. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, the hopeful elect, okay? We're being obedient to the best of our ability, okay? In hopes of being saved, because we're going to need saving in the times to come. We're going to need that tawah, that spiritual mark exempt from judgment in the times to come. As it is written, through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. You ain't seen nothing yet. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to put the spirit on us to reject this man's system and his mark, his charagma, his RFID CHIP, which he's going to make mandatory. He's going to force it upon the whole entire world. You're not going to be able to buy or sell save he that had the charagma, the MOTB, per Revelation 13 and 16 on down. It's coming quickly, just like the Third World War is coming quickly. Jacob's trouble, we're at the door. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast, that no man can take thy crown. That's why it's important to keep watching, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep praying, because we're close. We're close. Our redemption truly is nigh. Our salvation truly is nearer than we believe. So going back to this, let's read a little bit of this article and then I'll wrap it up. Again, I'm not trying to make this long. Breaking news from The Guardian. Again, Trump warns Putin he is playing with fire after Russian attack on Ukraine. And I forgot to put it in my previous video, but I found out later on that the reason why that unprecedented, the largest drone attack or whatever that they launched against Kiev, why Putin did that, because there was an alleged assassination attempt on his life. Okay? So things are escalating, quickly. Things are about to spiral out of control. So it says, let's read a little bit of this. It says, U.S. president launches fresh criticism of Russian counterpart and suggests U.S. sanctions could be increased. I done told you he was talking about putting 500% tariffs, sanctions on Russia and their allies. And we already know what Putin told Tucker Carlson. He said that was America's greatest mistake, to weaponize the dollar. So everything he's doing is leading to the further demise of Babylon. So he has no choice but to go to war. The sanctions didn't work in the past. They ain't going to work now. Okay, Russia, they don't need America, man. They got their whole alliance, the BRIC alliance. They've been, they not, they don't need you no more, man. So and that's what's going on. Like I always said, if America is a big spoiled brat, okay, they don't want a seat at the table. They want the head seat. If they can't sit in the king's chair, they don't want to play it. They don't want to play the game no more. They're gonna knock over the table. Okay, they don't want, they want to be the premier nation. So it says Donald Trump has warned Vladimir Putin that he is playing with, quotation, he is playing with fire, launching a fresh broadside at his Russian counterpart over stalled Ukraine peace efforts. Trump's latest comments came after he called the Kremlin leader crazy over the weekend attack, following a mass Russian air attack on Kiev, and warned that Moscow risked new sanctions. What Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia. He's proud, man. He's very proud. But the pride of his heart have deceived him. His terribleness have deceived him. We know what the scriptures say, a haughty spirit goeth before a fall. It says, and I mean really bad. Trump said on his Truth Social network on Tuesday, he's playing with fire. Trump did not specify what that really bad things were or make any specific threats, but the Wall Street Journal and CNN reported that Trump was now considering fresh sanctions against Russia as early as this week, while stressing that he could still change his mind, which even these statements are leading to the further demise of Babylon the Great, because it's showing him to be double-minded, unstable, uncertainty, okay? Which is leading to the volatility of the stock exchange. People don't know what to do. People don't know what to expect. He's looking like a madman, and he is a madman. He's the cruel Lord. In Isaiah 19, Adawan Ratazah, he is the king of Babylon that's going to lead America to their destruction, to their demise. And it's looking like it's coming sooner than later. Adawan Ratazah. I mean, that's the point. I don't want to make it long. You saw where I got the article from. You could do your own due diligence. It's breaking news. Everybody's talking about it right about now, you know. Beautiful times that we're living in. I just wanted to check in because, you know, as I'm hearing about this again, that quote from Gerald Celente was screaming in my mind. Beautiful times to be alive, man, for the hopeful elect. Horrific times for the rest of you. Babylon's back is against the wall. They're in a quagmire. There's no balm for her. There's nothing they can do. It's inevitable. So again, when all else fails, they take you to war. The propaganda ain't working. You know, their witchcraft ain't working. Their soothsayers, their magi, ain't nothing they doing is working. Their spies, their agent provocateurs, really they trying to upset the truth, but nothing they could do is can upset the truth, because that's the only way you can get these prophecies to die down, to quiet down, is if you stop the men of, which we know that's why he's Amos, what's that, 12 and 11, if I'm not mistaken, the famine of the word is coming. That's the only way you can, which is not, that's the only logical thing you can do is to lock this internet down, demonize the men of the Lord, persecute the men of the Lord. That's your only play that you got left. It's checkmate in one move, man. That's your only move left, okay? And little do you know, the game is rigged. The game is over. Once you make that move, when the enemy shall come in as a flood, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall lift up that standard. Once you make a move on the men of the Lord, this thing's going to be expedited even more. So Esau's, he losing sleep, man. He don't know what to do. So what else can he do but resort back to his blessing, which is the sword? He got to roll out this new world order. He got to roll out this digital system spearheaded by the Karagma. And he's running out of time. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai set the bounds which he can't pass. The joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Beautiful times, man. Exhilarating times. Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time, we're in this time. We're in this time. The beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. The precipice of the Third World War. We've been in it, but it's about to get hot and heavy. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there's the main point. And it's going to be so bad, the archangel Michael Ma'aka Allah, okay? The archangel of war, okay? He's going to have to step in. That's how bad it's going to get. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua going to have to lift up that standard. Because this man is about to come. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. Okay? This shit about to get real. Real ugly up in here. Salakia. Gotta have a little fun. Shout out to Bubba Sparks. So it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. It's the main point. And there shall be a time of trouble. Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 30:7, which I'm going to close out with. Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. All the different atrocities, all these different captivities, all the different hell we caught throughout the ages, it's going to pale in comparison to what's about to happen. And most of you, it's going to come upon you unawares. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. Every one that shall be found written in the book. What book? The Lamb's book of life. And guess what? All of Israel ain't written in the Lamb's book of life. Only the remnant, the elect are. Adawan Ratazah, we be of that number. We keep enduring to the end. I'm going to close out here. Jeremiah, the main point is in 30. Jeremiah 30, the main point is in verse 7. I'll start at 4. You know. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, northern and southern kingdom. Right? Primarily, Jacob's trouble is going to try the whole world. It's going to play out in the whole world. But the main focus is going to be in America, Babylon the Great. Where northern and southern kingdom were oppressed together in the land of the north. Okay? America's the main scene of future judgment. America, the apostles, the different brothers was going into it. America is the lake of fire, man. The lake of fire is America being completely on fire, wasted. You know? By what? Intercontinental ballistic missiles and hypersonic missiles coming from Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, India, Pakistan, even your allies, Germany, you know, Britain probably got nukes. All these nations with nuclear capability, they're going to click up and burn this whore. It's coming quickly. It's nigh. But before that happens, all hell is going to break loose. Society, as you know it, is going to completely break down. It's going to be martial law, civil unrest, sedition in the streets, no work, famine, pestilences, domestic violence is going to be through the roof. The love of many is already waxing cold. People are already bugging the hell out. So how much more so in the days to come? For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace. Ain't no peace. That's why the peace talks went to shit. We not in the time of peace. We're not in the season of peace. We're not in the season of love. We're in the season of war and hate and judgment and vengeance and anger and wrath, destruction. Actually, and Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai is bringing it. All these things were created for the wicked. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. The child represents the kingdom being ushered in. Okay? The baby being born. Okay? The kingdom's coming. The baby's coming. Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, he's coming. He's coming quickly. It ain't nothing you can do to stop it. That water's about to break. We've had a lot of Braxton Hickses, false contractions, but at some point, the water's going to break, man. And once the water breaks, that's it. These contractions going to come closer and closer and heavier and heavier. And that's what you're seeing. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins? That's how bad it's going to be. The mighty man shall cry therein bitterly. You know? The Egyptians shall be as women, if I'm not... I think I botched it, but they're going to be as women. You know? Society's already breaking down, man. People are already in dire straits. But you ain't seen nothing yet. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness, because reality's going to set in real quick, overnight, in a blink of an eye. It's going to go from 0 to 100 real quick. And it ain't going, the doors of mercy going to slam shut, and a lot of you going to be caught out there. Alas, for that day is great. That day is great, so that none is like it. Daniel 12:1. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. The he is talking about the remnant, starting with 144,000 men, 12,000 men out of each tribe of Yasharallah. Okay? And then you got behind them the innumerable multitude of believers, men, women, and children that follow the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. And how are we following the Lamb? By taking heed unto this word. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. That's the good news. Even though it's going to get bitter, it's going to get nasty, you know, this is our last bit. All this hell that's about to take place, it's letting us know that we're going home. We're going to finally be able to rest. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is about to recompense all our enemies, all our adversaries. You know? I'll wrap it up because it's about to pour by me, and that's beautiful, beautiful. It's about the storm, and the storm is on the horizon. For it shall come to beautiful times, man. Beautiful times. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. But they shall serve the Lord Yahweh their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, Yahweh, saith the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Yasharallah. For lo, look, I will save thee from afar. And we're in the utmost part of the earth. Babylon the Great. But we're going to be saved from whatever lands we were driven into. Okay? The strangeness of our salvation, far beyond all that they looked for. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob, Yahweh, shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. Yapah, we can't wait. So keep watching, keep praying, keep fighting, keep pushing. We're close. Shalom. Wa abad babal. Kwam Yasharallah.